Can you really keep the best boy down? So I wanted to do this profile a little bit sooner, but I'm glad I held off with the restriction list about to kick in, which does hit some of the cards that are in the Metalgarurumon deck and or family. That being said, the hits on the restriction list really didn't do much to Melga itself. It's still Metalgaruru, it's still going to do Metalgaruru things and be just fine at it. So, getting into it, our egg of choice, at least in my case, is the 4 of BT6 Sunamon. We discard so many cards that just inherently drawing a card when we do is really beneficial. And then let's get into our floodgates. Initially was not running any, but with the Gabumon hits, we can now safely run Gabumon's slightly color swapped counterpart. And Psychemon to all turns, players can't reduce play cost. Help with things like Royal Knight, Crossheart, Hunter, and the different things I want to reduce cost. And now going into our 1-ofs, the 2 1-of now Gabumons, the BT2 Gabumon with its on deletion, draw 2 cards, pitch a card, and then the ST6 Gabumon with its when attacking not once per turn, which was the reason why it was hit. Draw a card, trash a card. The things that suffered for Apocalymon's crimes. And now 2-ofs, playing 2 of the BT5 Gabumon. This is primarily a purple base, but this still being able to play out, flip 3 cards, add 1 Digimon with Garurumon in its name, or Omnimon, or and an Omnimon if you flip both, is just nothing to really be upset about. We can play it out, flip some cards, add them to hand, and then the following turn, if we want to, we can go into the Gabumon X, which is going to Digivolve onto any Gabumon for a cost of 0, draw your card there, and then when Digivolving, flip 3 cards, add a Garurumon or an Omnimon again. You dig through your deck very, very quickly with this if you don't break. Now going into our final 4 of the starter deck 16 Gabumon. It has the when attacking, now once per turn, draw a card, pitch a card. And then at the start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. So you can promote out, gain a memory, go into a Gabu X, and then follow that up with just so many plays. That extra memory can come up real quick and real helpful. So starting with the blue Garurumons first, we're running Garuru X, obviously. Nothing to be said about it. It gives you a protection from battle, so if you trigger something that you want to survive against that's just bigger in security, pitch some cards of the same sort or same level and name to protect. And then 4 of the new Garurumon from the structure deck Digivolves onto any of the Gabumons, so you can go onto your blue ones to get going. Security, you can play a Gabumon or a Tamer card with Mat and its name from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Incredibly helpful with those. Get some extra value, play out a memory setter or a rookie to either throw into security or just get going if it doesn't get deleted. And then when Digivolving, draw a card, trash a card, which helps trigger Mat, helps trigger your Sunamon, so many different effects, and just deck thinning. As well as it's inheritable of when attacking, draw a card, pitch a card, much like the Garurumon from ST6. This one is not a once per turn. Yeah. This isn't as good as the Gabumon, I guess. But when attacking, trigger, draw a card, pitch a card, not once per turn, which helps since all of our level 5s for the most part restand, starting with our 4 of where Garurumon from the structure deck. It does have the errata, so it does not restand or unsuspend by pitching a card at the end of attack, it'll pop a level 4 instead if you pitch a card. But it itself, when attacking by pitching a card, can unsuspend, which pairs great for just swinging safely with the Garurumon, swing again, go into the Wereguru X to bounce something and unsuspend to swing more. That's really all that's to be said about the Wereguru X. And then our last level 5s, playing one Sagittarius mode for extra protection and extra bouncing. Its name is also treated as Weregurumon, so you can go into your purple Weregurumon and go into the Sagittarius mode, go into the X, and then not a Garurumon, but with how many cards we pitch and discard from all of our draws, we are running one Loosemon Chaos mode. It can answer some Tamers, it can answer a Digimon, but just having the reduced cost to play it out, it gives us something that we can not feel bad when we play it out, pop something, get swung on, and go into our first level 6, the Metalgarurumon Ace, that we are playing 3 of. It has the Blast hand counter evolution. In this one's case, you pitch cards when digivolving to gain memory. Sometimes you can just pitch one card, push it over to your turn, you have your memory setter mat, and you're good to go. Other times you might have to pitch some more. But then it also has when attacking once per turn by trashing one card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. If you sequence it right, you can get rid of a whole lot with it. And then 3 of Metalgarurumon X. What can be said that I can't really say that somebody hasn't said before. We digivolve into it, we unsuspend, we swing again, we have a blocker, we bounce something to hand when it unsuspends. It just sequences combos really, really well to end games with the X antibody option under it. Speaking of the X antibody option, Beelzemon X likes that option if you see it. You do, like I said, draw a lot of cards, pitch a lot of cards, so why not give yourself a slight bit of advantage if you're able to, you know, swing or digivolve into them, or yeah, swing, digivolve into them off the option, trash cards and security if you have enough. Gives you another way to potentially lethal out a game, much like the Omnimon X antibody does. Bottom deck card that's a level 6 or the X antibody option to take a look at your opponent's security, take a little peeky, trash a card, swing in for another check, or if you're doing it the proper way, this is the last swing. You essentially trash the last card in their security to swing game. And we are purple based and can be slightly slower, so we are playing a Death Xmon. The deck can have draw issues, so having something that's just a big old board wipe, why not? And then going into the Tamers, it's 3 of the memory setter mat from the new structure deck that synergizes to gain memory when a card is discarded. And it plays off the Garurumon, and then of course Cool Boy, and to pair with Cool Boy, the 2 X antibody. Cool Boy's still a hell of a card. It's going to flip some cards, it can find the X antibody option as well as an X antibody Digimon, and then you're just off to the races with gaining memory, drawing cards every time you X evolve. But that is the deck. Let's see that shuffle. Alright, and as always, we got the test shuffle. So, we roll 18. Opponent rolls 12. So we would be on the play for this one. Let's get all shuffled up real quick. Let's see what this hand looks like. And as always, we'll have a mulligan, even if it's a good hand. This is the post changes, again, with the restriction coming up shortly. We do the cut. So our hand would be Weregurumon, Gabumon X, Metalgarurumon Ace, Matt, and Metalgarurumon. This is in no way a keepable hand. If we were to keep it, we would be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most likely hatching an egg, putting our opponent immediately to 4. So since we do have the memory setter, it doesn't really matter what happens. They go to 3, or they do their thing, we go to 3, we flip over an X antibody, and now we just start to cry. Because we can now hard play the Gabu to flip 1, flip 2, flip 3, take the Garuru X. There's the bottom. And with what we have in hand, we would be dead. So let's go right into the mulligan. Executing in this case would have been all the other stuff we'd want to see. The hit slowed down some of the consistency, but not enough of it to really do any lasting impact, especially with BT15. Because when that set drops, it will most likely be switching to a more blue base than the purple base. Obviously, some of the purple ones are still going to be used, like the ST, Gabumon, and Garurumon. Just the extra memory, the card draws, and everything else. Plus the Garuru's security effect to play out Matt and or Gabu. Well, Matt or Gabu, not both. Alright. Let's get a good shuffle this time. We got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So our hand starting this time is already immediately at least got some playable things in it. So it's still going to be the thing of a first turn Matt, opponent does whatever, we're going to draw into the Metalgarurumon. We play out our Gabu X again, flip some. We actually have some better targets this time. So we take the Garuru. So we go into Garuru for 2, draw a card. We trigger our Garuru to draw a card. And in this case, with everything that we have in hand, probably would pitch the Matt. Gain a memory from discarding a card, and our opponent's now set at 1. They might push out and do some stuff, they might not. Let's assume that they don't, just so that they can build some, so we get passed over. There's the Metalgaruru X antibody. We've got the Ace in hand as well. So now we're just we're gonna evolve here in the back. Draw to where Garurumon, okay. So we X evolve now. Our draw would have been a Psychemon for that. Tuck the X antibody just to be safe with things. Go into the Where Garurumon. And then with what we have, we've got a few different combo strings we can do. So we can swing, we know that we can relatively safely attack, which is going to trigger the Garurumon to draw a card. We'll go ahead and pitch this extra one. Gain a memory off the mat. And then we'll dump the Psychemon as well to restand. So we got our first check cleared. And there's really not like a super great play that we can do without passing opponent turn. So instead, I think we just kind of, you know, 1, 2, 3. Draw our card for evolution. So we pitch 1, go to 0, pitch 2, so that we can maintain the 0 play. And unfortunately, because we haven't hit a lot of card draw, this one is a very low to the ground hand, which would be great if we're playing against like Mirage Galgamon. So we swing, don't really want to use any of the discard effects, but we can stand, and then that's funny to hit that. Any extra memory we could have gained would have been funny. And just to be able to continue pressing turn, but this one, it's kind of better to just kind of end like this. Because to be honest, even after that mulligan, this wasn't exactly the best hand. Our security, on the other hand, though, would have been first check Ace, second check Gabu, Garuru X, Gabu, and then Beals X. But as always, that is the profile. I think the deck is still good. Any deck, unfortunately, like this one just showed, can have really bad hands no matter how good it is. It can still perform fine, it's still going to do its things, it just had a little bit of a slowdown with what it was hit by. But we do have the Digigauntlet going on still over on Twitch, at Gentaxis over there. We have the VODs that we are uploading. They are a little bit behind because I had some audio issues, and trying to figure out like, hey, how many hours of content are people willing to watch? But if you want to come hang out with us over there, please, by all means do. If you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike it. Leave comments, subscribe if you feel, and we'll see you later.